Good evening. This is the Dean of all things spicy with Conjured Vaporz Peppers, and I'm here to do a pepper review. So this is a red 7-pot bubblegum, or a BBG red. As you can see, the red color bleeds into the calyx, which is this part that clasps the top of the pepper. And then in a lot of them, it will also go up the pedicle, or the stem. Red 7-pot bubblegum. Grown and gifted to me by Jason Capsaicin of Hellfire Farms. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Ramona. I appreciate you. I've had a lot of BBGs over the years. I don't know if I've had a red. Maybe I have. I don't remember eating a red BBG, but when you eat peppers over years, sometimes you forget, right? Which is one of the reasons I make these videos. It gives me a diary. I'm not good at writing. I probably shouldn't wave my knife in front of my face. I'm not good at writing. So I make video diaries. And you guys just happen to be a part of that. And I'm thankful for that. If even one of you enjoys this video diary, cool. Then that makes me a happy man. Because I'm going to make it anyway. But if you can get benefit out of it, sweet. Makes me happy. So we're going to use the pepper dissector. We're going to chop into this red BBG 7. Or red, yeah, it's red BBG 7. Or 7-pot bubblegum. We'll see what she looks like on the inside. So what's up? Just got done eating with the kid. My wife's at work. So, I tend to ask my kid what she wants, and more often than not, it's macaroni and cheese, or pizza, or lasagna, and usually box stuff. She loves the box stuff. But I've upped my craft macaroni and cheese making game by creating a bechamel sauce, and then adding the normal craft powder into the bechamel sauce, unless I have the money for a bunch of good cheese. Then I'll add real cheese into the bechamel. But it really enhances the flavor of Kraft macaroni and cheese by a lot. I mean, it tastes like a restaurant quality mac and cheese, but just made at home. And still made with Kraft. So there's the inside of that red 7-pot BBG. Smells very fruity, but not sweet. There's not much of the chinense aroma, which I tend to relate that chinense aroma with floral, the flavor floral. They don't smell, it doesn't smell the same as floral tastes. But the more I smell that, the more floral that pod ends up being. At least, I think on average, the more floral that pod ends up being. So, yeah. Mostly fruity. Yeah, anyway. I need to get on finishing up my seed sorting. I have a massive seed set. I probably have 1,600, maybe more strains of pepper seed. And each year it grows because I'm constantly working on new hybrid varieties. So, this year alone, just from hybrids I've already been working on in the past, I have probably 10 or 11 new strains that just came out of this, and I wanted to chase those out as well because they were interesting. If it interests me and it's my variety anyway, and I find a new phenotype, we're going with it. So problem is, when the pepper season ended, I hadn't seen my family in so many months because I was outside all the time, and my family just doesn't come outside. Not in the summer, not in the heat, or in the snow. If it's above 75 or below 35, maybe below 40, they don't come outside at all. So it's just me. So when the pepper season ends, I tend to be like, you know what? I'm going to hang out with the family tonight. So if I owe you seeds, I promise they're coming. I will get them to you before mid-January. Hopefully I'll get them to you sooner than that. But most super hot growers don't sow until January anyway. I personally don't sow until February. I grow so many plants that I don't want my plants being massive in my basement. The biggest I want my plants in the basement is about this big. Anything bigger than this, it's too much. It's taking up too much room, and I don't have enough room for all my plants. And then by the time May 5th rolls around, my birthday, by the way, by the time May 5th rolls around, and that's the date I always, 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 always set May 5th as my date to start planning out. So long as the weather cooperates, which every year so far it has since I moved to Pennsylvania. I just, some people want these massive, massive, massive plants to go out in their garden. Not me. A good 12 to 13, 14 inches and no more. Once it's that tall, it's starting to branch out. The internodal distance spaces are getting much wider. They're getting taller. It's starting to realize it's summer, especially right around May 5th. I'm not interested. I don't want a big, wide, bushy plant going out to the garden. I like about 5 internodes. That's the space between the leaf sets, by the way. I like about 5 internodes, and that's it. It's a perfect plant for me. Anyway, I digress. I'm just chatting, and I need to be eating this pepper. I promise I'm not putting it off. I'm just enjoying talking tonight, so hope I didn't bother you. 7 Pot BBG Red by Jason Capsaicin of Hellfire Farms. Go check out his site. I promise you, you buy some pods from him this coming season, starting June, July of 2026, you won't regret it. He grows amazing plants. And everything he grows is organic. Everything's a closed loop system. You're getting a good quality. Anyway, cheers. So this pepper was extremely juicy. Very, 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 very fruity at the beginning, but not sweet at all. Like, very fruity, but not sweet. Which is a great and interesting combination. Usually when you think fruity, you think sweet. But I like the quality of fruity without sweetness. So it's warm. It's attacking the heck out of the tip of my tongue right now. Very, very, very much attacking the tip of my tongue. Almost habanero-ish. The stinginess of a habanero when it attacks the tip of your tongue. This is very similar with this pod. Most pods, some of my friend reviewers, they'll say it's like licking the rough deck of a skateboard or sticking your head out the car as it's going down the road and putting your tongue on the pavement. That's a burn. It's a burn, but it's a painful burn. This one isn't really like that. It's more like stinginess, like 1,000 bees just stinging the tip of my tongue. So interesting too. Like, a habanero's not that hot. I mean, it's 150 to 350,000 Scoville heat units, which to a lot of people is super, super hot. But, once you're a super hot eater, regular, that's not that hot. So this one, it's right around 850 to 950,000 Scoville heat units, so it's just below ghost pepper heat level. Maybe ghost pepper or just above. So I'm going to say somewhere between 850 and 1.1. But it's not done climbing yet, so it's probably closer to 1.1. And guess what? There's the nose. And it's starting to run, which means it's over 1 million. Because my nose doesn't tend to run. Unless it's an ahi confusion like the other day. For some reason, that tiny little heat pepper really, really got my nose going. Got me, I don't know. I'm going to have to eat another. I'm going to have to grow that ahi confusion just to see if it does it again. Because I know my tolerance isn't that low. Okay, so now I have watery eyes. They're nothing has fallen, but they are watery. So I'm going to say this one's closer to 1.2. Maybe even 1.3. It's interesting how sometimes I think I got that down, and then it climbs a little more. I'm trying to wait until it's peaked, but this one fooled me. It made me think it peaked, and it hadn't. Yeah, nose is going good. Just absolutely delicious pepper. So fruity without the sweetness at the very beginning, and then it does get a tiny little bit of floral flavor about halfway through the chew. Not a bit of bitterness that I could sense. But my mind's really been on communicating with you, so maybe I missed the bitterness. Maybe it was so slight that I just missed it. The burn did migrate just a little bit towards the back of my throat, but not quite to the throat. Maybe halfway down the tongue it stopped. And then it's also on the ridge line, the tooth ridge line on the top. Yeah, I'm going to say this one hit 1.3 million Scoville heat, and that's right around the same heat level as the scorpion pepper. I used to get watery, but nothing fell. Excuse me. I don't like pepper flesh just stuck between my teeth and my gums. I usually floss after I do this anyway, so. Yeah, absolutely delicious pepper. So, 7-pot red bubblegum, or bubblegum 7-pot red. 7-pot. They named it supposedly. One pepper was hot enough to heat us 7 pots of chili. For the average individual, yeah, probably. For me, no. It'll spice up one dish to a comfortable heat level. If I want a dish super super hot, it's gonna need something hotter than this. But I've also raised my tolerance intentionally and very steadily throughout the years, through about 6 years now. Anyhow, delicious pepper. I would use this in culinary use. I would use this with red meat of any sort. Lamb. It would be really good with lamb. You know what this would be excellent in? Goat Rogan Josh. Indian food. Goat Rogan Josh. For some reason, that just struck me. This would go amazingly well with the Goat Rogan Josh. Yeah, just a delicious pepper. And for most people, this is going to be killer? Not really, because peppers aren't going to kill you. But this is hot. It's hotter than I thought it was, and I've had a lot of 7-pots over the years. So this one, like I said, right around 1.3 million Scoville heat units most likely. maybe even a little hotter, but not 1.5. 1.4 at the very, very most. 1.3 is where I'm thinking. So it still hasn't come back down. I mean, it's peaked and it's on its way down, but this is a slow decline on this one. Thankfully, the tip of my tongue isn't being stabbed anymore. No, it's just kind of a steady burn. Don't get me wrong, I like them all. I like all the different kinds of burn. Like, some people hate the throat burn, some people hate the lips burn, some people hate the tongue burn. I like it all. I just like the burn. Anyhow, this video is already getting too long, so I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. This is the Dean of All Things Spicy with Conjured Vaporz Peppers. I hope you all have an absolutely beautiful night. Love you. I'm out.